I'm Asian. Of course I have to get an A or I'm dead.
I'm Asian. Am I really that bad of a driver?
I'm Asian. Everyone thinks I'm just a crazy rich Asian.
I'm Asian. I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, or out of my house.
Mental health. For Asians like us, it's a common issue that has deep roots in history. The pressure of success, the competitiveness of making it out big. The stress may get to us. Who do we seek? Or do we just bottle it up and let the pain grow and consume us? We have family, but does family have us? Our mental health has been neglected throughout history.
Talk to me when you doctor.
Only way she'll be happy is if I'm some Asian stereotype.
You mess.
Initial systems of oppression have limited Asian American civil rights and perpetuated inequality since the days of early history. With multiple immigration restriction laws like the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 and Executive Order 9066, creating an idea of racial segregation and isolation. Early policies have developed American systemic racism, creating Asian stereotypes prevalent in America today. The model minority myth, which attributes high levels of intelligence to Asian Americans, yellow peril, typical Asian stereotypes. All these concepts are built from these racist policies passed throughout history that have led to the neglection of Asian American mental health. What would these lead to? Depression, anxiety, mental health disorders, a disconnection from society, all because we Asians have to live under the pressure of a false ideal. There was a spark of hope during the civil rights movement in which the unique needs of minority groups were brought to national attention. The neglect of Asian Americans and their civil rights were addressed at this time. The protests and activism paid off. The passing of the Immigration Act of 1965, which allowed Asian immigrants into America, and the Community Mental Health Centers Act 1963, which made mental health centers more accessible to all people, including minority groups. However, despite all these efforts, systemic racism was still prevalent, with the model minority myth on the rise, and a large percentage of the Asian population not utilizing these healthcare services due to the typical Asian culture of collectivism. Efforts to undo these policies were made in the 80s as a result of this. Healthcare was exclusive to insured people, which were typically rich white men. Multiple facilities were shut down as a priority of quality over quantity was agreed upon by the government. The civil rights Asian Americans fought so hard for was slowly being diminished as a result of the inevitable racism and Asian culture. It raises the question, to what extent has the US achieved progress towards amending historical systemic injustice? As a nation, we need to do better. The US has overall not achieved significant progress towards amending historical systemic injustice due to the lurking presence of racism. But not achieving significant progress does not mean no progress at all. The US is currently moving towards amending systemic racism and addressing isolation due to racial stereotypes. In 2010, Barack Obama passed an act that allowed for previously uninsured people to be insured and have access to healthcare services. Though a small, kind act that isn't an absolute solution to the systemic racism present in America, it's a sign of hope for more progress towards the mental health stigma towards Asian Americans. As a nation, we need to do our part in amending the injustices minority groups face. In the future, hopefully more policies that allow for these type of healthcare services to be readily available to minority groups will be passed. However, we need to address the root of the issue. The problem isn't in the policies. The problem is us. As a society, we should aim to attack the root of the issue of Asian American mental health, which is the stereotypical biases developed early on against Asian Americans and other minority groups. As a society, we need to treat Asians just like everyone else. To Asians, don't be afraid to seek help. It doesn't matter who it is, a trusted adult, family member, friends, a therapist. Just seek help. Hey you, yeah you. You are loved, you are worthy, you are strong. I know the stress of life can get to you, and the competitiveness is overwhelming. You're never alone. You can do this.
I'm Asian. I can do this. I'm Asian. I need your help.
I'm Asian. I have a voice that matters.
I'm Asian. My grades don't define me.
I'm Asian. I'm just like the rest of you.
I'm Asian and I'm equally loved.